Hi everyone, Lorelei Shellist here today. How are you? Well, today is Oscar night in Los Angeles and probably all over the country. People are having Oscar parties. I know the town is abuzz, and there's a big story, a big fashion feud that is on the tip of everyone's tongue, which I think is very amusing. Partly because the story involves my previous boss, Mr. Karl Lagerfeld at Chanel, where I worked as his fashion muse, his model during the couture collections back in the 80s. What a great experience and a privilege that was. Anyway, what's going on now is, and you've probably already heard about this because it's all over Women's Wear Daily and the rest of the fashion news reports, that apparently Meryl Streep had asked Karl Lagerfeld to take a beautiful gray couture dress worth $105,000 and redesign it and raise the neckline so that she could wear it to the Oscars tonight. So they said okay, and all of the little ladies in the atelier went to work to redesign this dress on her behalf. Then they get a phone call saying halt productions because Ms. Streep wants to wear a dress from a designer who's going to pay her. Well, what we've come to learn is that actresses are getting paid anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 to wear designer dresses on the red carpet. And so you can imagine Karl Lagerfeld was upset, not only because she had asked him to redesign the dress, but now that they had already done the work, she didn't want the dress. He also said that he didn't ever pay anyone to wear a dress. He figured the gift of $105,000 handmade couture gown was enough. Well, according to Women's Wear Daily, Meryl Streep then denied this. She said she never charges to wear dresses on the red carpet or anywhere else. So who's telling the truth? Karl Lagerfeld certainly doesn't need to make up stories to sell dresses. And Meryl Streep doesn't need to be paid to wear dresses. So who's winning here? Women's Wear Daily? The press? I'm just wondering. Because Chanel will now get more attention for Meryl not wearing the dress than they would have had she worn the dress. In any case, I think it all began back at the Golden Globes when Meryl Streep got up there on her soapbox and was giving her acceptance speech for her lifetime achievement. And instead of thanking all the people that helped her get to that place and thanking her peers and the press for voting for her and taking time for that, she shared that she had lost her voice because she had been screaming and lamenting because of an incident where Trump had insulted or made fun of a reporter that she called disabled. Well, personally, it surprised me that in this moment of glory that she would deflect the attention on to that story. But I believe that she was trying to make a point and figured it was her job to do so. So in this speech, she tells us that she's heartbroken because people's instinct to disrespect and humiliate others. In other words, to bully them. And she calls upon the press to hold accountability for every outrage. Well, she then asks for support from everyone for the committee to protect journalists because she says we are going to need them to safeguard the truth. Well, I don't know, something must have happened in her own life that triggered this response. Maybe she was bullied, maybe she was humiliated, and there's a little place where that still small voice inside of her is unresolved, it's unhealed, and I believe that these triggers are there so that we can then go back and heal those places. But I'm not sure if she really understands that. Most of us don't. I've had to learn this, and I'm constantly being reminded that I need to do that whenever I get upset. But in any case, she goes on to say that disrespect invites disrespect and violence begets violence. And when the powerful use their position to bully others, we all lose. Well, my feeling was that when she gave this speech, in a way, she was bullying. It was in a very lovely glamorous way, but it's bullying nonetheless. Well, anyway, I think that Karl was surprised at this news. And he didn't really believe it because he even said, she is a genius as an actress, but cheapness? No. So even he didn't believe it. And Women's Wear Daily is saying that this is not something that they want to feud about, and yet it's on the cover of their papers. So I don't know who's winning here. All I know is tonight is the Oscars, and I am curious to see who she's wearing and if she'll say anything else about it, or if she'll just be a lady and let this just like flow by, because we love her and we want to love her, and she is human, and so is Karl, and so are even the press. I guess the moral of the story is be careful what you ask for, especially when you're in the public eye, because it seems like the very people that Meryl wants to help support to safeguard the truth are now having a big press day at her expense. And as Karl Lagerfeld would say, c'est très amusant. Have fun at the Oscars.